God bless. Can I help you?
Can we do something about the price?
All right, so.
Here. And something for your trouble.
Oh no, thank you very much.
Can we do something about the price?
All right, so.
I'll cover my eyes.
Can we do something about the price?
Well, we can try it.
Are we agreed?
That's not enough. All right, so.
Have a look at these cucumbers. They'll stay firm all winter. Buy them before someone else does.
God be with you, Henry.
God be with you.
I'd like to discuss the price.
Well, we can try it. All right, son.
God bless. Can I help you? God save. What can I do for you?
Do you know Elishka, the wife of the man who was hanged recently?
The one that's with the executioner now.
That's her.
Life can be cruel sometimes.
Right. And do you know if she has kinfolk somewhere around?
How should I know? Now, if you don't mind, I'm very busy.
If Elishka stays with the executioner, it'll end up being your problem anyway.
Christ, oh, all right then. Tell the scribe.
Where can I find him?
He's suffering with some ailment, so no doubt he'll be lying in his chambers above his study, on the top floor of the rat house.
God save you.
The bailiff sent me.
That's another matter then. What do you need, friend?
Is it possible to find out from the records where someone lives?
You think we keep records of every serf? For Christ's sake, they breed like rabbits.
But I thought that in the rat house, though, in the books...
Boy, the books are for recording pacts, undertakings, punishments, property rights, and so forth. In other words, important things. We don't keep records of serfs.
Elishka won't be happy about that.
Elishka? You don't mean the one who married into the Mishek family?
Yes. Yes, you know her.
Why wouldn't I? I used to play dice with old Mishek years ago. He had a son, a nice polite lad. How is he?
Oh, you know, he's quite tied up these days.
Well, if you see him, tell him to swing by.
And where are the Misheks living now?
A stone's throw from Ratte by the small fish pond.
Thanks.
God save Henry.
God be with you.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
I'd like you to show me some hunting tricks.
Certainly.
Well, I'll think it over. Can you teach me to be a better archer?
Certainly.
Well, I'll think it over.
God be with you.
I heard that a pilgrim was selling bits of a sacred sword a while ago. Did he visit you by any chance?
I don't know anything about it.
Really?
Really? Are you trying to suggest I'm lying?
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
We're taking care of the camp.
Where's the proof?
Here it is.
Pleased to hear it. And that's not all. There's some trouble on the road to Sasau. There's most likely another camp thereabouts.
Very well, I'll take a look. I have some, trophies.
Let's see. Bastards deserved it.
I've trained a bit with a sword, and I think I've got the hang of the basics. Can you teach me something new?
You're a bit cocky, ain't you? All right then, come and show me what you can do.
I'm ready.
Stand there, take your weapon, fight. You look like you know what you're doing. I'll teach you a trick or two.
Ow! Yeah! Ow! Ah! Yeah! Ow!
Enough. That will do. That wasn't at all bad. All right, it seems you're ready for the next lesson. Now, pay close attention. I'll teach you the most important thing. It's good to be able to attack. It's good to be able to fend off your opponent's blows. But the best is when you're able to do both at once. Master stroke is when you parry your opponent's blow and strike him at the same time. Try it. I'll attack slowly. You parry. Not bad. Yeah! Good. Yeah! All right.
I'd like to improve my swordsmanship.
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
First, you have to have some skills to hone.
Well, I'll think it over. Can you teach me how to defend myself better in combat?
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
First, you have to have some skills to hone.
Well, I'll think it over.
You want to really hurt your opponent. It's no use just flailing at him and hoping you get lucky. You need technique, but using skilled moves is no easy matter. No miraculous strikes you can learn that will ensure you win every duel. You've got to work those techniques into your combat. Force your opponent into a position you want him in, and then attack unexpectedly. Now, you try it. Strike from above, then from the right, then slash. Strikes have to follow quickly, one after the other. As soon as one lands, you start the next. You have to keep exactly to the sequence, otherwise it won't come off. Slash from above, slash from the right, slash from below. Go! Catch them. No, no, no! What? No, no, no! No, no! No, no, no! Try to catch. No, no, no! Try to. That's it. Try it once more. That's it. No, no, no! You have to strike. All right. God save.
I'd like to learn to fight better with an axe.
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention. Yeah! Yeah!
Cheeky bloody children. Go and mind your own business. Cheeky bloody children.
What do you want?
I've got information about your daughter-in-law.
Elishka's fine, only she needs...
Never heard of her. Get lost.
She's your nearest kin. Elishka's part of your family, and she really needs you...
I won't help anyone.
I could make it worth your while.
Really? And what is it you want?
Your son's widow needs help. She has nowhere to go.
What do I care about some useless girl?
She could help you with the farm. She definitely knows how to take care of things.
A bit of help would come in handy. Send her here, then. But don't let her think she'll be taking it easy. She'll have her work cut out.
That sounds quite...
And if I hear a peep out of her, I'll take a stick to her back.
Fine salvation this is.
Hey, Henry's come to see us.
Welcome, Henry.
Ilishka's looking better.
She is, but she's not happy. God sent the poor girl great trials.
Indeed.
Did you know her whole family was wiped out by the plague? She was barely 12.
Losing your family isn't easy.
Ah, sorry, I wasn't thinking. So, did you find out anything about that kin of hers?
I have. I tracked them down. They say they'd take her in, but I'm not sure she'd do well there.
Leave that to her. I just hope she'll be better off than now.
You're not crying now?
I'm not. I've wept enough for a lifetime.
It's a bit of a change since my last visit.
I haven't had much luck in my life, but I've always worked things out in the end. Tears are no help to anything.
That's true.
So, did you find out something about them?
I did. I found your husband's father and mother, and they're willing to take you in.
But...
They're not very nice people, Ilishka. They'd probably work you to the bone. But you would get fed.
Life is never easy. But at least I'd have a family.
You're right. I'll have another talk with Herman. I've heard the way you talk about her, and would you like Ilishka to stay?
You know, Hal, she was always the sweetest girl. When she came with her family to Ratai, still single, she was a sight to behold. And it might surprise you, but she even had a word or two for me now and again. It grieved me when she married that wastrel. It was a foolish idea, but I always thought maybe she and I could... Well, fate likes a good laugh. Now I've strung up her old man. I have her under my roof. After all the years I was thinking of her. I don't want her to leave, but I don't want her to be unhappy here either.
Have you made your mind up?
I can't decide. I don't know Mishik's-kin at all. But at least I'd have a family.
Herman could give you a family, too.
He's a decent, upright fellow. I've met none better, and that's the honest truth. But he's an executioner.
And what's the problem? That the other women won't chat with you down at the creek? Did that sort of gossip ever interest you anyway? He's a fine man, isn't he? He's willing to take care of you, and he has the means to do it, and he wants you. He's so sick with love for you, he can't even sleep.
But did he really say that?
He told me he's been in love with you for years. He said he always thought you were the sweetest girl in Ratai.
That's true. We used to meet now and again and exchange a few words. Well, he always treated me nicely. By all that's holy. You're right. I'll stay here. Herman,
Yes?
can I stay here with you?
You mean for good?
If you don't want me to.
You can. By God, you can. You've made me the happiest man in the world.
Thank you, Hal. Thank you.
Think nothing of it. The main thing is everything worked out well.
It did, thank you. And I want you to have this. God almighty, I've got Alishka. After all these years, me, the executioner, has the woman he loves.
Thank you, Henry. I've a feeling with Herman I can finally find some happiness.
You will. The two of you are made for each other.
glad you're here.
What's happening, sir?
Uncle Sahanush sent for me. No doubt he wants to give me another ear bashing about the error of my ways. And he said to bring you too.
Sakra. That doesn't sound good.
Indeed. I wonder what he wants to lecture me about this time. And you, because you're going with me.
All right, we should get going then, shouldn't we, Sir Hans? The sooner we get it over and done with, the better.
I suppose so. Right away. I put some of my old clothes in a trunk for you. I don't want you making me look bad in front of Hannah. So go and get dressed up before we head off.
God save you, Henry.
Thanks, sir, but I'd rather go as I am.
You'd rather disgrace me? Well, no need to argue with you. Come on.
Well, my ward and his, what shall we say, chaperone.
Uncle.
My lord?
I hope we haven't dragged you away from anything too important.
Not at all, Uncle. We
like
were just...
boozing and whoring, for instance.
Uncle, I can...
Perhaps you were busy, causing mayhem in the middle of the night and beating up my subjects.
No, it wasn't... Henry and I were just...
Henry's as big a fool as you are. But he's not my ward, thank Christ. What the hell do the pair of you think you're doing? There are people in this fiefdom who work from dawn to dusk to put food on their tables, and on yours, may I remind you. And then they look at you, Hans, their lord and master, and see a drunken layabout. That fellow you beat up last night was a guard, a new guard on the town watch. And he couldn't report for duty this morning because of his injuries. I had the bailiff here complaining, and could I tell him what I really think about this whole sorry affair? Of course not. That would demean me. And you too. So I had to sit gaping like a stuffed owl and listen to his grievances. Maybe you think because you're the lord here you can get away with anything. But you're sadly mistaken, you blockhead. A lord remains a lord only as long as he commands the loyalty of his subjects. And I'm sure I don't have to tell you the folk here are not exactly enchanted at the prospect of having you in charge. That was the last straw, Capon. One more of your escapades and I'll send you to your mother in Polnar. For all I care, she can dress you up like a wench and marry you off to some Hungarian.
Uncle, that arson Archibald tried to murder me. What was I to do?
Oh, don't exaggerate. Well, I'm hardly surprised after you molested his girl and humiliated him.
I was only...
Oh, don't whine, for heaven's sake. It's about time you started taking some responsibility. I have a job for you. Maybe that will keep you out of mischief. So Milota of Oleshna has turned up here. Do you know him?
Isn't he Sir Bernard's cousin?
He is. He came here with the remnants of his retinue to seek refuge. He's seriously wounded.
What happened to him, sir?
His fortress Oleshna was attacked by one Wulfrin of Camburg. Milota pursued him almost as far as Neuhof and engaged with him. Unfortunately, the skirmish didn't end well for Milota.
Wulfrin of Camburg? That name is familiar.
He's kin to the Oleshna lords, too. A cousin of Bernard's and Milota's. Their family affairs are a little complicated. None of my business, of course. I just wish they'd found somewhere else to thrash out their differences.
What do you want us to do, sir?
Go and see Bernard in the courtyard. He got a report that Wulfrin pillaged some other farms around Neuhof, and he's putting a squad together to ride against him. Mind your step, though. It's a family affair. After all, maybe more to it than meets the eye. The important thing is to get that damn scavenger out of the domain. If possible, without bloodshed. I can't afford to lose any men over this business. Have I made myself clear?
Yes, sir.
Very well, Uncle.
Get to work, then.
What is it? God bless you. What troubles you?
So, what do you think about this?
Old Hanush is right about one thing. It's time to stop chasing wenches and start chasing bandits. It'll be a bit of excitement for a change.
Excitement? I don't know, Sir Hans. Men will die.
Don't be such a wench, Henry. What kind of a life would a knight have if he never crossed swords with a foe? What would he talk about at banquets, eh?
You're right.
Of course I am. Don't worry, everything will be all right. Be right there, hack those bastards to pieces, and celebrate with a good drink in the evening.
But Sir Hanush said we should get them out of the fiefdom without bloodshed if we can.
And how else do you suppose we can do that?
With diplomacy?
You can't parley with criminals. That would just damage Uncle's reputation. Every lowlife would think he could rob him without fear of reprisal. Enough talk. Let's mount up.
Has anyone seen my belt? I can't find it anywhere. If you didn't booze so much, maybe you wouldn't keep losing your things.
Sir Hanush sent me, Captain. I'm to join your mission. And Sir Hans, too.
And mount up, youngster, and we'll move out. Well, Capon, when we get there, I'd like you to hold back.
You can forget about that, Mr. Watch. I'm not going on an outing. Hanush said you to handle
Watch
this
what you're doing! There's people watching!
Something like that.
We have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna. Wolfen belongs to a distant branch of my family, which... let's just say they bring no honor to our name.
But I heard Wolfen of Camber was hanged somewhere in Silesia after plundering the bishop's estates.
I heard the same. Only, well, I'm sure you've heard what they say about the Camber branch of my family.
That they're cursed. Now, Bernard, don't you think I'm a little old for fairy tales?
What you like. I heard it from my grandfather, and he never paid attention to old wives' tales.
I meant no offence, Captain. You tell me all about it. After all, there's no smoke without fire. And I never heard about the Camber family, a member of the family.
Very well. Home, we always spoke in whispers about our Camber relatives. When Wolfen's father, Wilhelm, came to visit. I'm almost ashamed to say it.
You can rely on my discretion, Captain. Carry on.
Well, the servants were so afraid of him that they went and hid in the barn. Father had them whipped. Even then, they wouldn't go near Wilhelm. They were afraid he cursed them. I couldn't blame them.
Why's that?
Wilhelm's face was so badly disfigured, folk would cross themselves when they saw him. I was afraid of him myself as a boy.
Was he wounded in war?
No, he was born that way. See, his mother, Countess Barbara of Hogwitz, didn't want to marry Wilhelm's father, my grandfather's brother. She never wanted to bear his children. So, when she fell pregnant, they say she went to a witch to get rid of the child. She ended up having quintuplets. Can you imagine it? 5 babes born in one night? Jesus Christ. That's not all. 4 of them didn't live till dawn. Only the 5th survived. He was disfigured. Wilhelm, they say the witch cheated her, and instead of getting rid of the child, put the devil's seed inside her.
Good
Well, Wilhelm carried that with him his whole life. When his own wife was in childbed, he had 7 friars kneeling in her chamber day and night. It didn't stop the rumors, though. When his son, Wolfen, was born, he looked normal enough, but he turned out to be as wild as a stray tomcat.
It seems he hasn't grown out of it.
You're right about that. A few years ago, Wolfen went off to Poland, and Wilhelm got worse and worse. Cursed everything and everyone in his path, started throwing crockery at the servants. He was on his deathbed. He sent for a priest, not just to give him the last rites, because the devil would come out of him and possess someone else. Then later, Wolfen turned up, even though he was supposed to be dead for years. Folk said he was.
Henry?
That wouldn't stop the devil's spawn.
Sweet Jesus. It sounds a lot more convincing coming from you than the stories my nurse told. How are we supposed to deal with a monster like that?
Whoa! Vitus and Cyril. I sent them to scout ahead. Those bastards will pay for this. They most certainly will. Let's go. We have to make camp. Hamlin, take 2 men and come back here later. I won't have Vitus and Cyril left as Crowmy.
Yes, Captain.
Henry's come to see us. Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
Tell me, Captain, how come this Wolfen is attacking his own kin?
They say blood's thicker than water, but sometimes I wonder. Look at our king and Sigismund.
So what's the cause of your conflict with Wolfen?
Nothing in particular. Just that he's a ruffian, a treacherous bastard, and a bandit. No wonder the whole Camber clan is cursed.
How are you related?
Milota, Wolfen, and I have the same great-grandfather, Urban, Baron of Oleshna.
How do you mean cursed?
Like I said, Wolfen's grandfather married Countess Barbara of Hogwitz. She didn't want to bear his child and went to a witch to get rid of it. Only instead of getting rid of the unborn child, she ended up having 5.
What, all at the same time?
All in one night. And only one of them lived till morning. The youngest, Wilhelm. And his face was disfigured. They say the witch deceived the Countess, and it was Satan himself who impregnated her.
And you believe that story?
Depends how you look at it. Wilhelm wasn't a bad man while he was in his right mind, but he was terrifying to look at. I still get shivers down my spine when I think of him. As for Wolfen, word came that he died in Silesia. Then, one day, he appeared from nowhere. There are folk who say death has no power over him.
What do we do now?
First, we have to find out where those Horsens are holed up. According to the reports, they raided a few farms around here. So someone should go to those places and find out what they can. You should do it, Henry. My men would probably just startle them.
All right, Captain. I'll do that. Where are the farms?
One is uphill from Neuhoff, right by the woods. One here above the woods by the crossroads, directly north from our camp.
Good day to you.
Captain Bernard sent me. I'm here about the raid on your farm.
What? I've no idea what you're talking about, friend.
They raided your farm, didn't they?
No. I heard there was some raids hereabouts, but not here.
Something's not right. The captain sent me here to this very farm.
The captain must have made a mistake.
I suppose so. I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of Lipa. I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhoff, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
Sir Hanush gives a job like that to a young fellow like you? Oh, what do I care? Ask.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
He was a strange one. Always drinking, bad-tempered. Lord knows how he made a living. Well, maybe now I've got an idea or two.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately, not even in the tavern. Not until yesterday in church, as it happens.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhoff was raided?
I don't think he was home at all. Wait. Are you saying he... Jesus.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
I really don't know. As far as I know, he had no kin. I never saw him with anyone.
That's all. Thank you. Captain Bernard sent me. It's about that attack.
Well, they came, took everything they could, and rode off again. I don't know what else I can tell you.
We're trying to catch up with that gang, so I need to hear every detail you can tell me.
What do you want to know?
How many of them were there?
2 or 3. I'm not sure. My head's still in a spin.
Which way did they go?
I don't know. I wasn't watching. My husband made me hide indoors, and I only saw them through the window.
So your husband was outside?
Yes, he tried to parley with them.
What did they take?
Not much. We haven't a pot to piss in, which I told them in no uncertain terms as soon as they came here.
So you're telling me they came here, you told them there was nothing worth taking, and they just rode off again, without further ado?
More or less.
But just a while ago, you told me you were indoors the whole time.
Yes, I was. Mostly.
So were you inside or outside? Did you talk to them or not?
Well, like I say, it was confusing. I don't remember much.
Look here, I'm not sure what happened here, but I can't shake the feeling you're holding something back.
No, it's just, it all happened so quickly. I'm still bewildered from it all.
I'm the one who's bewildered. Let me make one thing clear. Those bandits are led by Sir Wulflin, Baron of Camberg, and he's not just some common outlaw. If we don't catch him, there'll be hell to pay. So you better speak up, no matter what happened here.
Lord Jesus, why must we be persecuted so?
So, what really happened here?
First, promise me you'll get rid of them.
That's exactly what I'm here for.
They came a few days ago, took a pig and a sack of apples. We put up no resistance. I noticed one of them had an injured leg, so I offered to treat it for him.
That was very Christian of you, considering they came to rob you.
All I cared about was that they wouldn't kill us.
Go on. What happened then?
They rode off, and I prayed we'd seen the last of them. Only the same evening, they came back again. One of them had been wounded, and they wanted me to take a look at him. They gave me some coin and took me to their camp. And in the morning I came home again.
I understand. They threatened you.
They didn't exactly threaten me. They didn't have to. But if they get away from you, they'll come back and get revenge.
Don't worry. We'll take care of them. So you know where they're camped? I'd like you to lead me there.
I won't go to their camp, no. But I know of a place where you'll have a good view of it.
That'll do me.
I'm not going any further. If they saw me, I'd be done for. The camp's not far away in this direction.
Thanks. And don't worry. I'll deal with those bastards.
I pray you do.
Looks like I found it. I better get back and report to Captain Bernard.
What's that? Who's there? God be with you, Henry. I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I found that encampment.
Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Is it far?
Not really.
How many men did you see?
Around 10.
Same as us. Well, now we'll see if my cousin is really as tough as they say. Otherwise, he'll be swinging tonight from the Rattay ramparts.
Wouldn't it be better to parley with them, sir?
Parley with robbers? You must be out of your mind, lad.
Sir Hanish ordered me to avoid unnecessary casualties.
What are you trying to say?
I could go and parley with Wolfley. Even if it comes to nothing, I could have a good look at his encampment.
Bit of spying could well be of use, all right. Wolfland's a conceited bastard. If he knows you come from me, he'll receive you just for a chance to tell me to go to hell. I'll give you a livery with my coat of arms, so it's clear you're my messenger. And you'll have to go unarmed.
Thank you, Captain. I'll do my best.
I hope so. Try and come back in one piece. I don't want to explain to Sir Radzig why I sent his favorite into a robber baron's camp unarmed.
Hey, you! What do you want?
I'm Captain Bernard's envoy. I'm here to parley.
Why should I trust you?
I'm unarmed. What harm can I do?
That's true. You are wearing Sir Bernard's colours. I suppose I should take you to Sir Wolflin. But if you try any tricks, you'll regret it. Understood?
You have my word.
No one, Rob. Drink, annihilate, and pillage. Burning, wrecking, making strife. Killing, fighting, never losing. Robbing, fucking, whores and boozing. Take the women, burn the village. Drink, annihilate, and pillage. Burning, wrecking, making strife. How sweet it is.
Who do we have here? What's your name, boy?
Henry. I'm a messenger from...
I know. From my beloved cousin, Sir Bernard of Oleshna. So, what exactly is your message?
Why do you want to hurt the lords of Oleshna?
That bastard Melota stole villages that belonged to my father. I was in Poland when my father died, and Melota convinced everyone I was dead too.
But you came back though, didn't you?
I came back. But Melota bribed a priest to testify that my father made him a deathbed confession. That bastard swore my father told him he was possessed, and so was his son, me. So they think I rose from the dead and I'm a warlock. They won't hear my claim.
That's unfortunate. But surely the courts of the king wouldn't believe a story like that.
Maybe not. But the king's in captivity, and none of the nobles have time for courts. No one will hear my case, and by the time this turmoil is over, everyone will have forgotten about me.
Sick head.
I heard some interesting tales about you. They say your family is cursed.
Ha! So Bernard's been telling those stories again.
I want to rope here.
How my Oleshna cousins do love to gossip.
So your father didn't have...
What? A twisted mouth? Aye. Looked like it was run over by a wagon. And he was born with 4 siblings and none of them lived. True. But they always leave one thing out of that fairy tale.
What's that?
That my grandmother was one of 5 babes and her mother one of 4. That's how it goes in that family. And then that talk of the witch. Pah! My grandma couldn't wait to marry my grandfather and give him children.
Camp life sure ain't easy.
We offer you safe conduct out of this domain if you leave everything you stole from Zahanish's subjects.
That's a very generous offer. But tell me, why should I accept?
Your quarrel is with Melota, not with Bernard. And certainly not with Sir Hanush, whose estates you're pillaging.
So?
So leave Sir Hanish's domain and settle your differences with Melota elsewhere.
My quarrel is with everyone who helps Melota. And Hanush gave him refuge in Ratai.
Sir Hanush knows nothing about Melota's scheming. He offered a helping hand to a Christian in need, and for his pains, he has you pillaging his lands and murdering his subjects.
It's the times we live in.
You want justice? You think you deserve it? Then you should behave with honor yourself and leave here.
What good would it do me?
If you leave voluntarily, I'll tell Sir Hanush about Melota's deception. He's not going anywhere in his current condition, so we'll get to the truth in the end.
The devil take it. There's nothing here worth pillaging anyway. All right. I accept your offer. Tell your captain we'll move on.
And you'll leave the loot here?
We'll leave what's left. The food's already eaten. Better run along before Bernard loses patience.
stab.
Henry's come to see us.
Greetings. What do you need?
I went to parley with Wolflin.
So how did that go?
I convinced him to take his gang and leave.
Really? I knew you were no fool, but that's something else. You're a born diplomat, Henry.
I don't know about that.
Don't be so modest. We have to drink to this.
I've just come back from Wolflin, Captain.
And in one piece, I see. That's something at least, but I doubt you achieved anything.
I talked them into moving out. They even left the loot they plundered.
I don't know about letting them go like that. They'll be hungry. All you've truly done is send them on to rob our neighbors.
I don't think that will trouble Sir Hanush too much.
Maybe not, but it troubles me. They slayed 2 of my men and crippled my cousin.
I'm sorry about that, but I doubt your paths have crossed for the last time. It's just that this isn't the time for settling family quarrels.
True enough. Anyway, I'll warn the neighboring lords that those bandits are on the loose. Ride to Ratai and report to Sir Hanush.
Yes, sir.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
I have news from the camp, Sir Hanush.
Speak.
I persuaded Captain Bernard to let me parley with Wolflin.
Bernard agreed. I'm surprised.
So was I. I promised Wolflin safe conduct out of your territory on condition he leave all the loot behind.
Well, at least we cut our losses. Although Bernard will have a thing or two to say about how I lost face for a few groschen.
But at least you lost no men, sir, and that's worth something.
True enough, lad. No doubt Wolflin will come to a bad end anyway. I must say, Henry, after all that's happened recently, I'm glad something finally turned out well.
So am I, sir.
And I think you deserve to be rewarded for your efforts.
Thank you, sir.
Hey, you! What do you want?
I'm Captain Bernard's envoy. I'm here to parley.
Why should I trust you?
I'm unarmed. What harm can I do?
That's true. You are wearing Sir Bernard's colours. I suppose I should take you to Sir Wolfling. But if you try any tricks, you'll regret it. Understood?
You have my word.
What a shitty day. I need a good scrap to cheer me up.
Who do we have here? What's your name, boy?
Henry. I'm a messenger from...
I know. From my beloved cousin, Sir Bernard of Aleshna. So, what exactly is your message?
We offer you safe conduct out of this domain if you leave everything you stole from Sir Hanish's subjects and pay 60 groschen in compensation.
That's a very generous offer. But tell me, why should I accept?
Don't you know what's been going on around here recently?
Should I?
Bandits have been on the rampage all over the county. Cutthroats raided a nearby stud farm, and the locals have had enough of it.
No doubt, but I've nothing to do with that.
Try telling them that. On the way here, the captain recruited men from half the county. He intends to make an example of you.
So half the men in the country have come and they can snuff us out like a candle. But Bernard wants to offer us safe conduct out of the kindness of his heart? A likely story.
We want to avoid unnecessary bloodshed.
Don't waste your breath, Henry. I'm not as gullible as you think. We're done here. Send him on his way.
I'll have yours too if you don't want it.
Hey, you! Why should...
I'm on... You have my...
Right, Princess. I'll have you know a real man's supposed to stink. Just wait until you've been here 2 weeks, and we'll see his feet smell of roses.
Who do we have here? What's your name, boy?
Henry. I'm a messenger from...
I know. From my beloved cousin, Sir Bernard of Aleshna. So, what exactly is your message?
Yeah, I'm gonna get soaked.
Why do you want to hurt the lords of Aleshna?
That bastard Malotta stole villages that belonged to my father. I was in Poland when my father died, and Malotta convinced everyone I was dead too.
But you came back though, didn't you?
I came back. But Malotta bribed a priest to testify that my father made him a deathbed confession. That bastard swore my father told him he was possessed, and so was his son, me. So they think I rose from the dead and I'm a warlock. They won't hear my claim.
Tense fucking camp. But enough
That's
of
unfortunate.
shit.
But surely the courts of the king wouldn't believe a story like that.
Maybe not, but the king's in captivity, and none of the nobles have time for courts.
Fuck.
No one will hear my case, and by the time this turmoil is over, everyone will have forgotten about me.
I heard some interesting tales about you. They say your family is cursed.
So Bernard's been telling those stories again. How my Oleshna cousins do love to gossip.
So your father didn't have...
What? A twisted mouth? Aye. Looked like it was run over by a wagon. And he was born with 4 siblings, and none of them lived. True. But they always leave one thing out of that fairy tale.
That's exactly
What's
what I'm
that?
telling you. Aroma.
That my grandmother was one of 5 babes, and her mother one of 4. That's how it goes in that family. And then that talk of the witch. Pah! My grandma couldn't wait to marry my grandfather and give him children.
We offer you safe conduct out of this domain if you leave everything you stole from Sir Hanish's subjects and pay 60 groschen in compensation.
That's a very generous offer. But tell me, why should I accept?
I want to rob here.
Your quarrel is with Milotta, not with Bernard. And certainly not with Sir Hanish, whose estates you're pillaging.
So?
So leave Sir Hanish's domain and settle your differences with Milotta elsewhere.
My quarrel is with everyone who helps Milotta. And Hanush gave him refuge in Ratai.
Sir Hanish knows nothing about Milotta's scheming. He offered a helping hand to a Christian in need, and for his pains, he has you pillaging his lands and murdering his subjects.
It's the times we live in.
You want justice? You think you deserve it? Then you should behave with honor yourself and leave here.
What good would it do me?
If you leave voluntarily, I'll tell Sir Hanish about Milotta's deception. He's not going anywhere in his current condition, so we'll get to the truth in the end.
The devil take it. There's nothing here worth pillaging anyway. All right.
I'm gonna get
Accept your offer.
What else is there to do?
Tell your captain we'll move on.
Don't forget to leave the loot and 60 groschen, too.
There's no denying you're a good negotiator, lad. Oh well. No doubt we'll find easier pickings elsewhere. Better run along before Bernard loses patience.
Ow! What? Henry, I'm glad you came. The Lord be praised. What brings you to me?
I went to parley with Wolflin.
So how did that go?
I convinced him to take his gang and leave.
Really? I knew you were no fool, but that's something else. You're a born diplomat, Henry.
I don't know about that.
Don't be so modest. We have to drink to this.
God save you, good knight. What can I do for you?
I've just come back from Wolflin, Captain.
And in one piece, I see. That's something at least, but I doubt you achieved anything.
I talked them into moving out. Not only that, but they left all their loot and 60 groschen too, as compensation.
I can hardly believe it. That turned out a lot better than I expected. The coin is for Sir Hanush, I expect.
Naturally.
Well then, take the money ride to Rattay. In the meantime, we'll break camp and make sure those bastards keep their part of the bargain.
Right, Captain. I'll be on my way.
And Henry, nice work.
God be with you, lad. What can I do for you?
I have news from the camp, Sir Hanish.
Speak.
I persuaded Captain Bernard to let me parley with Wolflin.
Bernard agreed. I'm surprised.
So was I promised Wolflin safe conduct out of your territory on condition he leave all the loot he took and pay 60 groschen in compensation.
Well done. It will take Bernard a while to get over his disappointment at not being able to get revenge. But the important thing is, we're rid of that troublemaker. I must say, Henry, after all that's happened recently, I'm glad something finally turned out well.
So am I, sir.
And I think you deserve to be rewarded for your efforts.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to know...
That's all.
Hey, you!
I'm...
Why?
You have my word.
When's the last time you had a wash? Alright, Vincent.
I'm here.
I'll have you know, a real man's supposed to stink. Just wait till you've been here 2 weeks.
Who do we have here? What's your name, boy?
Henry. I'm a messenger from...
I know. From my beloved cousin, Sir Bernard of Aleshna. So, what exactly is your message?
Why do you want to hurt the lords of Aleshna?
That bastard Malota stole villages that belonged to my father. I was in Poland when my father died, and Malota convinced everyone I was dead too.
But you came back though, didn't you?
I came back. But Malota bribed a priest to testify that my father made him a deathbed confession. That bastard swore my father told him he was possessed, and so was his son, me. So they think I rose from the dead and I'm a warlock. They won't hear me.
That's unfortunate. But surely the courts of the king wouldn't believe a story like that.
Maybe not, but the king's in captivity, and none of the nobles have time for courts. No one will hear my case, and by the time this turmoil is over, everyone will have forgotten about me.
Brown it a bit, then throw the meat in. And the beer comes last.
I heard some interesting tales about you. They say your family is cursed.
So Bernard's been telling those stories again. How my Oleshny cousins do love to gossip.
So your father didn't have...
What? A twisted mouth? Aye. Looked like it was run over by a wagon. And he was born with 4 siblings and none of them lived. True. But they always leave one thing out of that fairy tale.
What's that?
That my grandmother was one of 5 babes and her mother one of 4. That's how it goes in that family. And then that talk of the witch. Pah! My grandma couldn't wait to marry my grandfather and give him children.
So hungry I'll be in my boots.
Let's settle the matter the chivalrous way. You and me, man to man. The victor takes all.
And the loser?
There'll be no loser left alive.
I like your spirit, young fellow. But why should I agree? If you win, my men will go and leave the loot here. But what if I win? I doubt Bernard will admit defeat on your account.
You'll have to see, won't you? Maybe you'll gain nothing by winning, but at least you won't lose the respect of your men.
You're a clever one. It seems a waste to kill you. But I accept your challenge. You call that combat? Kurwa! Go ahead and gather your strength.
Kill the horse, son! Get him, son! Get him to win! Kill the horse, son! Got him to Wolfley! Kill the horse, son! Kill the insolent!
I'll wipe my arse with you.
I'm going to enjoy this. Fucking come on then!
What's that? Alarm! Hey, all of you, gather here. Raise the alarm. Alarm!
What have we got here? Entertainment. Great.
Who's there? Well, I never. What's going on? Hey! Hey, all of you! Gather here! Raise the alarm! Alarm!
Just my luck to get stuck. Meanwhile, Thomas and Pavel are probably playing dice up on the battlements.
I brought some meat.
Thank you, Henry. Rich food will definitely help.
Tell me more about the situation here. All right, that's all I need to know. Thank you.
What are the...
Hopefully I have what you need.
Thank you. With any luck, I'll soon be feeling better. If you find the time, stop by to see me in a few days.
How are the sick and wounded faring? I don't think there's anything more I can do for them.
I know. And you helped the best you could. All we can do now is pray for the souls of the departed.
Greetings, good knight. How may I serve you?
It was young Zmolla.
What?
Zmolla's the one responsible for all the thefts and death. He tried to kill me and Leszek, and God knows who else.
Sweet Jesus. Where is he now?
He ran away, and I doubt he'll come back. He knows the gallows await him.
So is that the end of it, do you think?
It looks that way. I don't know if he had any cronies, but if he did, they'll be lying low from now on.
I'm glad to hear that. After all the horrible things that have happened, we'll have to reconsecrate part of the monastery. Damn!
Ow! Are you flying, for Christ's sake? There's people walking here! God be with you, Henry. Ow!
Jesus Christ be praised.
Would you teach me something about medicinal herbs?
Certainly.
I'd like to practice the basics.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention.
Would you teach me something about medicinal herbs?
Certainly.
I'm interested in more advanced techniques.
All right, but it'll cost you. Now, pay close attention.
Would you teach me something about medicinal herbs?
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
All right, but it'll cost you.
Isn't that quite a lot?
Is this enough?
That's not enough. Agreed. Now, listen up.
Is there anything I can do for you?
As it happens, there is. Drahomira, a widow from Ledechko, requested my services. But it's a long way on foot, and me with my back in such dreadful pain. I simply can't face the journey.
All the way from Ledechko? What, they don't have a herbalist there?
They do, but she didn't want a local. She's a rich widow, inherited a butcher shop. You know how folks like to gossip, especially about anyone who's better off than them. Do you know anything at all about exorcisms?
Exorcisms?
You know, banishing ghosts, smudging, spells.
A haunted butcher shop. All in a day's work for me.
It's not a task to be undertaken lightly. This is a real ghost, the spirit of a dead man who hasn't found peace. In order to banish him from the world of the living, you'll need to do a few things.
Slit a black cock's neck on the poor soul's grave?
What a despicable thought! No. Do you know what smudging is? You'll need 10 poppies and some flowers from the deceased grave. Once you have all that, bring it to the house that's being haunted. Light it on fire, and the smoke will purge the place of any unwanted spirits.
Sounds like fun. I'll help you.
It's no game. It's a very serious matter. Drahomira was terrified, and these aren't forces to be meddled with lightly.
Fine, fine. Is there anything else I should know?
That's a question for Drahomira. You'll find her in her cottage on the very edge of Ledechko.
day to you.
What's happening around here?
Ah, you know how it is. Always something. Them two rogues, Matthew and Fritz, have finally cleared off. No loss, I can tell you. Shy at work, the pair of them. But when there's mischief to be made, they jump at the chance. I hear they've made themselves at home in the tavern in the glade. Well, their custom I can do without. Andrew's welcome to them.
What? What the hell are you doing?
The herbalist Kunhuta sent me. I'm here because of the ghost.
You don't look like you know a thing about ghosts. Why didn't she come herself? Why did she send someone so young instead? Do you know anything at all about exorcisms?
She was in too much pain to make the journey. But you can trust me. I know what I'm doing.
You'd better. Well, get to work then.
There's a few things I need to know first.
I'd rather you just got on with it. But I don't suppose I've got any choice. So ask.
Whose ghost is it?
His name was Alois and he had a farm not far from Ledechko. A few years ago, his farmhouse burned down with him in it.
I've heard that people who die such horrible deaths seldom rest in peace. What exactly's been going on?
It happens at night. Every night now an apparition comes to me and I can't get a wink of sleep. I can't take it anymore.
Why do you think he chose you of all people?
How am I supposed to know? Maybe because we're neighbours. We grew up together as children.
I suppose that makes sense. Where is Alois buried? For the exorcism, I'll need flowers from his grave.
He's laid to rest in the Sasau cemetery by the wall. His grave is a bit overgrown with vines. I've been there a few times for a visit. The first day he appeared, I prayed at his grave, but he came again just the same.
I know everything I need to know.
Then for God's sake, perform the ritual as soon as possible.